Right, so yeah, we're back. This can't be the first one in the new year.
No, it's not. We did the 2nd of Jan.
It is. Okay, fair enough. Cool. Okay, I was going to say. I know I've been ill, but bloody hell.
Not that ill.
No, not that. Not quite that ill. So yeah, January's nearly over anyway. And we've got loads of stuff to discuss because loads of stuff's been happening.
The 200 days of January are almost over.
Isn't it? Oh God. Yeah. Oh man. It's like February makes up for it.
Yeah, by being marginally shorter.
It's like, yeah, we know that January is just basically, 6 months long on its own. So here's February, and that's four nice concise weeks.
Yeah.
What the Games Workshop go and do? They fucking decide to go and release Old World.
Innit? You guys have got no money.
It's something you need to buy.
Yeah. Not all this to be limited though, don't worry. No.
Everybody's ordered off GW hasn't got their stuff.
It's epic again, isn't it?
There was like they were literally told there'll be stock in for people to buy on the day. If you've pre-ordered it, you can't come down and pick up your copy because we haven't got it.
Yeah, it's a separate allocation of stock, I think. I don't know quite how they work it out.
So
yeah, I know they divide their stock up into at least 3 lots. So you get 1 lot which goes out to influencers,
that was also really annoying because
I mean, to be fair, it's a marginal amount. Like, how many influencers do you think they send stuff out to? A couple of thousand? Like, it's nothing really.
Yeah, it's not a lot,
but it's annoying when you want stuff and they've got it for free.
Yeah, well, not just that they got it for free.
And you haven't got it
is that
at all.
It's scarce. It all sold out straight away, so you don't need to send it out to the influencers because people were going to buy this regardless. Nobody's, they sent it out to Valrak, who has never covered Old World, who only covers 40k, and they sent him a complete set of all of it.
On the bright side, he probably gave it away in a competition or something.
Probably.
So someone else got it for free who wouldn't have got it normally.
Quite often what they do, is it gets given away as prizes and quite often and stuff like that. But it's just when you've got something that's being hyped, they've just done it again and again and again. They hype it through the roof. This is going to be the best thing, amazing, brilliant, sold out in 2 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. And whether they underproduced it or whether they, underestimated the popularity of it, because I saw pictures of the event at Warhammer World, which I did not attend, even though it's down the road.
Oh, they did an event?
Like hell on earth. Yeah, they did like an Old World release day.
Okay.
And the queue went all the way. You've got like the doors.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Rhino, and then you've got the Space Marine, and then you've got like the smoking area, but down below Bowman, all the way down there, and then all the way back up again as well.
Damn.
So I was like, no, fuck that. Absolutely mental. So yeah, it's proved very popular. It's sold out everywhere.
Oh, well, kinda. It's good for Games Workshop. I mean, it's always better. I think any company that makes stuff will always tell you that it's much better to make an amount and have it all shift than make too much and have it sitting around. Because I think a lot of the management at Games Workshop are probably haunted by Dreadfleet, which was received so poorly that they actually had to recall it from shops and then recycle it all. Yeah, which cost them even more.
Even more recently than that, they'll be terrified of another situation like Dominion.
So what, you mean Sisters of Mercy?
Age of Sigmar, the Dominion box set. So obviously Indomitus came out, and Indomitus was the 8th edition, 9th edition. The
last decent one. Box. Sorry, carry on.
Obviously, it sold out in seconds, so much so that they had to do a second batch of made to order.
Yeah.
And it didn't do them any favours because people were like getting their stuff way after everything else.
Yeah.
And I think what happened was GW were like, okay, well, we can't have that happen again, so we're going to make fuck tons of Dominion.
And I had
not
too many.
Realising that Age of Sigmar, it's just not as popular as 40k, never has been. I doubt it never will be.
Which, it makes business sense. You get people online that go, hey, Games Workshop, fuck the customers, that's why. And it's like, well, no, because they want to make money, not have shit lying around on shelves which could be used for other stuff and costing them money
to store things. And,
exactly.
With the amount that they release, they don't want stock taking up space.
No.
That could be used for stock that's going to shift,
Exactly. And I think, go on.
I was going to say that they'll have taken note of the sales of the old world, and then there'll probably be something like, we'll make half that again.
Yeah.
We'll make half that again, and then see where we are after that, and they'll just keep doing that. But obviously, because these starter sets have got like things like print books and everything like that in it, which has to come from China,
yeah, that's
I
get stuff
imagine
shipped
that's
from
going to
China.
slow down the process. So, it took them a couple of months to restock Legions Imperialis. I'll get around to it.
Yeah.
I
mean, like, do they get all the printable stuff? Do they get it all kind of like shipped flat from China? Like, do they get all the boxes flat?
Boxes all flat.
So they come in and people have to assemble them and then put all the extra shit into the boxes and whatnot, and then put it through the shrink wrapper, or just put the little circular clear stickers on them, which is what they seem to have been doing recently.
They don't seem to shrink wrap stuff anymore.
No, they're like, fuck the shrink wrapping machine. We had to sell that to make more room for making more stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, I mean,
it may well have been after Legions Imperialis who were like, oh shit, the book's wrong. We're going to have to take all of these out of these boxes. Fuck shrink wrapping them again. Just put those stickers on.
Yep, stick them up. Yeah, I mean, I think what a lot of people tend to overlook is that they get so wrapped up in the me and my mates, and we want the stuff and we couldn't get it, and they get all upset and bent out of shape and vent about it, which is fine. Because, when you want stuff after it's been hyped and you don't get it, it's a massive disappointment. Like, people use the hobby for escaping from a whole lot of stuff in real life that they may not appreciate. And so, they look forward to it. And when that doesn't happen, it has a knock-on effect on the people that want the stuff and whatnot. But, you have to bear in mind that you're not guaranteed to get anything in life, except maybe for death and taxes. So, you pre-order stuff. It may not turn up on the day. It may turn up late. It may not turn up at all, and you have to get a refund. But Games Workshop are one of the few companies that continuously expand the ranges of stuff that they have to produce in-house, while still producing and stocking a whole shitload of other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And it's bonkers. It's absolutely mental, because not only do they have to keep
themselves too far, I think, because there's so many. I mean, imagine when like Battlefield Gothic turns up in a couple of years or whatever. It's just like, what? It's mental.
Yeah. I'm certain that they've probably hit their.
Stocks are not large. They're very small basic. Can you imagine Warhammer Romford right now?
Warhammer Romford was like a cupboard.
Exactly. Can they get the stock out? They can't.
No, it was like a cupboard with just like a smaller cupboard behind it for putting stock in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
They're not that big. Games Workshop as a whole is not a big company at all. I mean, they've got a lot of reach, but as a company itself, it's not that big. Like, what's their HQ? 3 industrial units in Nottingham. Like, they're the biggest, easily the biggest company in their market sector. It's not a very big market sector. Like, they're not a big company at all. And I think a lot of people expect more of them than they actually do, simply because of their position in the market and the amount of profit they make. But they have to produce their new stuff ahead of time, and and then they have a production schedule where they have to plan new releases and produce stuff for that, while fulfilling stock demands for stuff that they already sell. And the larger the ranges get, the more stuff they sell, the more stuff they have to make.
This is why a lot of 40k stuff's been out of stock for the longest time.
Yeah, I mean, personally, like, I don't have any contacts I don't have any more contacts at like Games Workshop HQ than you do. And the people that we do know that work there aren't really going to tell us anything because they like the jobs. But I get the serious impression that they've hit their production ceiling, or something really similar to that. So they kind of have to be really careful about how much.
Recently saying they were going to increase their production capacity at Lenton on a new site. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's probably never been as popular.
No, definitely not.
That means lots of people are buying it. That means lots of people are scalping it. That means that it's very much a present thing. And when that happens to things, they do unfortunately get difficult to obtain. And when you've got added to that the fact that GW is terrified of being left of extra stock, they are going to underproduce everything. This is going to happen with every single release.
Yeah.
It's not limited. If it's limited, you just shit out of luck. So long as the Battle Force, as far as I'm aware, is limited.
I don't know. I hope not.
I hope not.
I don't particularly want to get it, but it looks nice. So
Yes.
I hope everyone gets the opportunity to get it to make 30k more varied.
Yes. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. It's one of those things. Getting all bent out of shape about it. There was one guy who was like, I hate what they've done with the PDF legacy, blah 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 blah. That's all right to the writer and let him know. And it's like, it's not going to do anything. He's just going to make his day shit. GW already decided what they're doing with the PDF legacy. That's it. You get a PDF. It's not getting updated. You can't use it in tournaments. Tough. You want to? You're going to have to house rule it. GW, they can't. As you say, they're not a massive company. No. The specialist games department is probably a dozen people tops.
Probably.
Absolutely
tops. Yeah. A lot of the old school people. There's probably not many of them left.
So they just don't have the capacity to do all these things. And there's a few things about the legacy thing that I'm not happy with myself. We'll discuss it later. But as far as scalpers go, GW did at least recently take some steps to mitigate what happened with the latest scalping scandal, which was the
End in the Death Part 3?
Volume 3.
Yeah.
Because obviously that rather predictably sold out this is one of the problems they've got is the stuff seems to go on sale before the actual pre-order time. So apparently it was sold out literally it's like going to sale at 5 to 10 and it was gone by 10 o'clock.
No, my experience, they always seem to do it on time. In my experience, you get stuck in a fucking queue.
But you had the usual scalpers, people putting it up immediately on eBay.
Infuriating.
And there was one guy who boasted that he got 11 copies.
He ain't getting 11.
No, he's not now because GW turned around and cancelled anybody who'd done multiple orders.
Yeah, clamped down on it. Fantastic.
It's good. It's very good. That's exactly what I'd expect them to do. Be it via IP address, postage address, whatever. They won't get them all, but they've got a lot. They've got enough to put them back up on sale.
Yeah.
But this is one of the problems. They've said exactly when it's going back up on sale, so the same thing's just going to happen again. Whether they're going to do a third tranche of it or not, I don't know. What I would have done is let people place orders and said, look, you're now on a waiting list. You've got a queue number. We're sold out, but we know that there's going to be scalpers. As and when we cancel orders and stock becomes available from cancel orders, you're in a queue, like a ticket number. You'll be allocated a copy of the book. That's what I do, because the way they've done it is admirable. Well done, GW. And I think the amount of pushback and exposure they got, that they had to do it. Because one of the problems with this series is, obviously this is a series of 12 books?
Yeah, I've not read any of them, actually.
No, I've not read any of them.
I'm really slacking.
I think it's 12 books. And you imagine, obviously, you've got these nutters out there who do like to collect every single hardback, leather-bound volume, and they're very pretty books and everything. But you imagine by the time you get to the 12th book, the last one you need to collect that, people are going to pay this 300 quid on eBay. And scalpers know it. And they're like... Do not
fucking even. Right? Do not. Right, ever since Games Workshop started, well, actually, more precisely, ever since I became aware of Heresy,
the big back book.
Whoa,
Malevolence, is it?
Yeah, and ever since I became aware of them doing that series, and I clapped eyes on one and read it, probably around my mate Tim's house, Tim the Unfielder. I've fed enough of them. I was like, the quality of this black book from Heresy, like the campaign books, it's fantastic. I'm like, it's miles above anything that Games Workshop's design studio do. It's better than codexes. It's better than any of their campaign books that they kind of push out onto people. And I was like, this is great. So I made it a point of getting 2 a year, one for birthday, one for Christmas, to catch up and then just keep an eye on stuff as it went along. So I kind of slacked off a bit towards the end of the series. And I think whichever one, the one with the Space Wolves and Thousand Suns is that covers Prospero. That one, yes, I believe that was it. I clocked that on one of my trips to Warhammer World, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'll get it next time. I'll buy some models instead. Because,
all of a took.
Yeah. So, but then they restocked it because they ran out, and they restocked it in hardback. And I was like, right, next trip, when they had it, I got it. And then I was waiting for Malevolence to come out, and I couldn't get to Warhammer World to actually get it because I can't remember. I'm assuming that Forge World actually sold them on their site. I can't remember. I was like, you know what? I'll wait for my birthday. It'll be fine. It's only a couple of months away. Got to Warhammer World, and they were like, sorry, mate, Malevolence is all gone. And I was like,
I'm not making
goddamn
any
bitch
more.
ass. Yeah. And then they did another print run in fucking softback. And I was just like, why? Obviously the cost is why. But I was like, why? Like, I don't want it. I don't want to have a whole row of like
One of my biggest
10
pet peeves is when they change
the format or something
the
and you've been
format. Yeah,
collecting them.
they did Gaunt's Ghost. So I was collecting all Gaunt's Ghost novels.
Yeah.
The first 8 were fine, and then they changed the design, and it's just like,
Hey.
thanks.
Yeah, thanks a bunch. Yeah, so like I've got the campaign books for Heresy, like in like black leather. I got like the slipcase. There was a collector's one with like an art book and something else in it. I can't remember now. It's downstairs. Yeah, and then when it came to Malevolence, I was like, I do not want a fucking paperback sitting there with like fake silver print on the spine next to the fanciest shelf in the house that I really like. And you cannot fucking get it. Like, it appears on eBay every now and again, 400 quid, 500 quid, and I'm like, I don't want it that much,
Yes,
It's the principle.
exactly.
I'm not going to pay that much for a book that cost 90 quid when it came out. It's not happening.
No, it's
It's
crazy.
just not.
Yeah.
I caved eventually and got it in softback.
You did
Because
get something.
someone put it up on eBay and it was only about 80 quid, and I was like, you know what, I'll stretch to that. I'll get it. At least then I've got the book and I don't have to faff about with PDFs. But it's not downstairs on the shelf with the others. It's up in my man cave.
It's not worthy.
No, so I got it, but it's not of the same standard, so it's not down with the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know exactly what you mean with Scalpers.
Yeah.
It's a fucking piss take, and it's absolutely
It's very unfortunate.
infuriating.
I mean,
Yeah, it's infuriating that there's actually organised websites organising shit like that to get people onto Games
well, it
Workshop's
started off with things
websites.
like PlayStation 5, didn't it? When
Yeah,
because obviously there were graphic chip shortages because of people bit mining and all that kind of stuff. So they bought all the bloody processing units and stuff like that.
graphics
And
cards. Yeah,
obviously things like PlayStation 5s and Xbox Ones or whatever, no, the Xbox X or whatever it's called,
yeah, Series
were
X.
like massively limited, and then they were getting scalped, and people were literally going onto websites and just draining all the stock in one hit or one hit. So I admire GW for what they've done, and I think they had to do it because obviously, like, there was lots of videos on YouTube of people saying that this isn't good enough. You need to do more. The queue system doesn't really do much because bots just abuse it.
The queue system is bullshit, right? Like, Epic got released, and at like a quarter of an hour ahead of time, I was like, right, I've dedicated half an hour to getting onto the site and getting this shit because I loved playing second edition of Space Marine as a teenager, like when I was 15. It's what I consider my version of Epic. Like, I didn't play any of the others that came after that, and I missed out on the first edition, which looked decent. Going by the rules that I saw in like the earliest White Dwarfs that I got. So for this one, I was like, this looks awesome. The models are awesome. The rules are based on the Epic that I grew up with. This is a release for me. I need to get this. So I had a bunch of different websites covered. Like, there's a bunch of third parties and stuff in case for buying the big box, and then for other stuff that was GW exclusive, like the cards and whatnot, I was hawking the Games Workshop website. And so a quarter of an hour early, I get put in a queue, and he fucking got me through to the Games Workshop website before the stuff went up. So I'm sitting there refreshing the page.
Yep.
And then I get turfed off of the website for inactivity. just as they updated the site and it all got released. And I was like, what the motherfuckers,
It's
put me
almost
back
like you've
in the
got to
queue.
estimate how long the queue's going to be. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, they put me back in the queue, and I was like, shit. Like, now I've got to wait like another 10 minutes in this stupid queue, and then by then, all the stuff that I want is probably going to be in the bin. So, so it'd be nice to see those cards restocked because they're actually really useful.
Yeah, it's the same as apparently the Our World versions. Like, you more or less need them. A lot of people have said, like, they're so handy.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully, I mean, maybe GW will find a way of sorting out the in China issue. I mean, would people pay an extra couple of quid per pack if you could just always get them and they weren't printed in China? I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think they would.
I mean, shit's expensive as it is, but I mean, I think a lot of people would swallow that cost. To be honest, if you could always get them, I think people would swallow that cost.
If they want the stuff.
If you want the stuff, it's just going to cost you a bit more. I mean, I'm not saying they're cheap to start off with, and any price raise does suck. But if it's for a reason,
then
I'd say
it's better to pay more from the source directly and have reliable access to the stuff that you want
Yes.
than it is to, not get anything and have them be a bit cheaper, because then
Yes.
you're paid for nothing and you got nothing. So it doesn't matter how cheap they are if you haven't got them and you can't
And
get them.
let's not forget that one of the reasons why Warhammer is expensive is because it is all produced here, and there's very, very few companies that do that.
Yes.
Very few companies.
Yep.
Like or that I can think of that produce their stuff in the UK. So, as far as plastics goes, obviously I'm talking about not normal like spin casting and stuff, because that's not or resin casting, because that's not so hard to do. But when it comes to plastic printing machines, there's not many that do it at all, and that is going to have an impact on the cost because it's not being done at a factory in Wuhan and not being shipped over.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Really, when you think about it, is that you can get stuff printed in bulk in another country and then pay for shipping, and it's still cheaper than getting it done here. That's mad.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just shows you how the scale of the operation in China.
Yeah.
The scale of how big it is and how cheaply that stuff can be produced.
Yeah. I mean, like COVID put up the cost of shipping, like, because obviously where I've.
Yeah. Well, it had come back down, but it's probably going to go up again now because of all the issues with Red Sea.
Yeah.
And just above where it's all kicking off, like literally just above it, you've got the Suez Canal.
Delightful. Well, just the most important canal in the world for shipping.
Yeah, exactly. So if anything happens there, then that's going to massively bump up the cost of shipping, because they're going to have to go around the Cape of Africa instead. The
that's right. Africa, I think my geography's shaky, but I think you're right.
Yeah, to try and circumnavigate the Mediterranean. So yeah, I mean, who knows what will happen in the future? But on the whole, GW producing their stuff in the UK is a massive bonus. It's a massive bonus for UK, UK jobs, UK production, UK prestige, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think they may sometimes get like instruction leaflets and stuff printed off locally, because it's when they do the stuff in white boxes.
Yeah.
They'll do like a release in all the fancy normal packaging. It will sell out, and then they'll do another run like on the quick, and it will just be like in white boxes just for selling off for the shelf or mail order or whatever.
You can print off instruction manuals and things on a printer, can't you? Because it's just black and white, a minimal bit of colour, and the the paper quality is just bog standard. It's not book quality or anything like that.
No. It's a little bit shiny, the stuff they use, but like
so it wouldn't surprise me with some of that. But obviously, when it comes to the box games and things, and especially tokens is the big one. Tokens are nearly always done overseas. Because they've got
as Epic demonstrated.
More than anything else, there's probably not a company in the UK that can print to the scale that GW need.
No, I suppose not.
GW we need 50,000 of these. Every company in the UK is like, what? No.
Yeah. Or more.
We could do like 50 a day, or 500 a day.
I mean, you used to work for Wayland. What kind of orders did they get?
It would vary from release to release. It'd be in the thousands.
Yeah.
So it was a big release. Like say something like I left as Indomitus was released. It wouldn't surprise me if for Indomitus they got something like 5,000 in easily.
Yeah. So that's just one retailer.
Yeah, you're talking basically. I mean, the biggest retailers, to be fair, but you're talking like an entire van of nothing but Indomitus turning up.
Yeah, I mean, but then on top of that, you've got all the other third parties who need the stock allocation as well. You've got probably.
Well, let's not forget this is just the UK as well.
Yeah,
as you come to America, they've got obviously a distribution center in Memphis that's completely different. But as soon as you get to America, it's a massive company with a massive audience. It would surprise me if it's like 4 or 5 times what the UK does on its own.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
The size of it and the amount of people out there, it's like population of 300 odd million or whatever. So that's 5 or 6 times the size of the UK's population. Simply by extrapolation, they're going to have more stuff. So
the volumes they must get through is bonkers, absolutely bonkers.
And this is one of the problems they've got. Is they just can't meet demand. One, they can't anticipate demand, or they're not prepared to take the chance on producing to anticipate that demand. They'd rather go under. And two, the demand just gets bigger and bigger all the time. And as they release more stuff, they keep bringing more people in. It's a funnel. Every new release is designed to bring people in. So with the old world, they've gone back and they've captured all those people who left over Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
You can see them all. You can see them all in the Facebook groups. I've not played in 15 years. I've not played in 20 years. I've not played since they killed the old killed Warhammer.
But again, you can't quantify that. Like it's not like a new edition of an existing system that's currently in production where they can say, well, last time round for the previous edition we made this many and we sold this much. So now we're going to make that much, and then plus a little bit more for anyone new that's interested. They don't have that statistic available, so they just kind of have to.
And no specialist games. This is specialist games. No specialist games. No specialist games
release
product would.
No.
Right now, they're probably concentrating on making the Age of Sigmar 4th edition.
Probably. Shit, 4th edition already? Damn.
Yeah, it'll be announced at Adepticon, I reckon.
When's that?
March.
March. Right. Maybe.
Gives them time to get the last couple of Dawnbringer things out that they've previewed. And then you'll see 4th edition Age of Sigmar, which apparently is Skaven.
Interesting.
Oh, and talking about Skaven, I noticed today, because I gave the PDF unit a cheeky download, Skaven slaves are no more.
What?
They are gone.
In what?
In the Skaven army. They have no Skaven slaves.
Oh, what, in Age of Sigmar?
No. I mean, Age of Sigmar, I don't know if they ever had them, to be honest. But in the old world, and let's face it, Warhammer Fantasy Battle certainly did have Skaven slaves, because I used to send them by the 100 to go and die. They are now gone in the old world. Which
so have they released like a PDF for rules for the armies that they've not?
Yes, all the legacy
armies
not
actually produced.
Yeah, all the legacy armies have got rules now. They're quite stripped down. There's not a lot to them. Obviously, there's no special characters because a lot of them are either not born yet or whatever,
Yeah. It's basically just a bone, isn't it, to old players? Like, here you go, we'll throw you a bone so you can use your stuff.
And they are bare bones. It is like literally a couple of army-wide special rules, and here's your units, off you go kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if people have been playing for long enough, they'll be able to improvise stuff, and that is pretty much what Games Workshop are all about. People always concentrate on tournaments. They'll quite use this in tournaments, and this is shit, and that shit, and blah, blah, blah. But, like, right from the very early days, like, I've always seen Games Workshop as a company that provides a rules framework for you and your friends to use to get games in.
Framework, don't they?
Exactly.
They've always said that.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, you change it. Even tournament organisers do it. Oh, we think that rule's a bit shit. We're going to change that for this tournament. Yes. So if you don't like stuff, just change it.
Outright banning armies, weren't they? When 10th got released.
No knights for you.
The German ones just said, no elder, no elder. They're broken.
Not good luck, Germany.
This is your punishment for Smash.
So they got rid of all the slave units. I'm assuming Dark Elves had some as well.
Also for the Chaos Dwarfs. Dark Elves didn't. Dark Elves never had a slave unit.
Really?
Yeah, they never had slave units. But Skaven slaves did, and Chaos Dwarfs did. And I'm guessing this is in order to make it slightly more palatable to certain people, sanitizing the setting somewhat.
I mean, it seems a little bit pandery, given that it's an entirely fictional universe, so doesn't really have any bearing on real life. But on the flip side, if they're fairly minor units that don't really impact the functional flavour of that army, then
well, this is the problem I have. Is like it was a massive part of the Skaven army. The whole idea was that you had these. Because they breed by the billions and they're teeming, and because they've got a caste system where there are the very, very unfortunate, they were just fucking poked forward and go forward and die.
I die.
Bad
thing, you die.
And to see that gone for what in my opinion is no good reason is quite a blow. I think actually, I don't agree with it. It brings that whole problem of like, okay, well, everything was all very, very enlightened up until Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and then obviously all these slaves turned up. Nobody by having Skaven slaves in your army, nobody's endorsing slavery.
No.
Nobody's saying slavery's good. Nobody's saying, oh, these slaves are a good thing. We're adult enough to understand that they lead a wretched life, very short, and they get put forward, and they get murdered and killed.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like when they got rid of the penal legions from the Imperial Guard Codex.
What legions?
Penal. Not penile. That'd be Slaneshi cultists, surely.
Good lord.
But yeah, the penal legions from Imperial Guard, and I know that was in 9th. That was a huge part of the Imperial Guard kind of law, as it were. Not massive law, but the flavour of it. The idea of these poor unfortunates, they exploding collars onto their necks and said, right, you go forward and die, and if you don't, we're just going to blow you up. And we're probably going to blow you up anyway, but this is the Imperium and it's horrible and it sucks.
I was about to say, yeah, it is an aspect of the Imperium not being great, despite what some people may think.
I don't want a sanitised old world. I don't want a sanitised Imperium. This shit happens. I know it happens, and that's fine. As long as we don't start saying it's a good thing and start saying, oh, I wish the real world was like this and stuff, then that's fine to have these little bits of escapism. It doesn't have to be nice.
No.
Fantasy does not have to be nice. If it's all nice, then you have to wonder why people are fucking fighting in the first place. So, yeah, it's just a little sign for me of that pandering. Because obviously, look at something like Dungeons and Dragons has now got to the example where you can't have half races, because apparently that's racist.
What?
All the slaves are gone. Yeah, all the half races are gone.
Hey, I'm white and I'm part Jamaican. I feel underrepresented now.
I found it quite ironic, the fact that Dungeons and Dragons got rid of all the half races because they thought it was racist, so now it's just purebloods everywhere. Hang on.
Yeah, wait a sec.
So yeah, apparently it's just ridiculous. Like turning around saying that all orcs are black, and it's like, no, please, just escapism. Please leave it alone. Yeah. Please.
Black orcs are still green,
Have the options to have Skaven slaves, and if you're really triggered by that and you don't like it, you know what? Just don't have them in your fucking army.
Yeah, just overlook their existence. It'll be fine.
You've got a nice bunch of Skaven. Your Warren, your den of Skaven are very nice and they don't use slaves. Good for you. Fantastic. But for the rest of us, let's just have this fucking what it's meant to be. A teeming mass of rats where there's so many that there's a caste system. Most of them are downtrodden and they get sent out to die.
Yep.
To be a clan rat in Skaven society is like you've made it. Do you know what I mean? You're on the first step to become, then it's Storm Vermin, and obviously you go up to like Clawmaster and stuff like that. To get rid of slaves makes no fucking sense. And there's only one reason I can think of it. It just seems so unnecessary, especially with something like the old world. I can understand in Age of Sigmar, because Age of Sigmar is little Jimmy's. Here's your high fantasy, low fantasy, whatever it is. Here's your watered down bubble.
Let's be a bit more diplomatic, and we'll just say that it's a different setting.
It's definitely a more friendly setting, I would say, overall.
Yeah.
Both through means of sort of the lore in it. It's not particularly grimdark. There's a couple of cool ideas in it, but in the general, it's not like the old lore that you used to have, especially with chaos and stuff. It just seems I was very disappointed. The old world is meant to be for all the old gamers, and that just seems like a massive part to be missing, especially for the Skaven.
All the old fans of slavery.
I can't comment enough on the Chaos Dwarfs. It's like, what's next? Is the new Dark Eldar Codex going to come out and not mention that they take slaves? It surprised me.
No boobies for you and your witch elves.
They just go and invite them for a picnic instead. And forget to take them back. The old Dark Elf fucking army book had a higher nipple count than the fucking Sunday Sport, mate. Damn. There's tits everywhere. Marathi had their tits out, and the witch elves had their tits out, and everything. And I understand.
It was a different time.
It was a different time with the exposure, with the company that GW is now. They don't want to do that, and I am totally, honestly, don't get me wrong, I am totally cool with that. I can live with that tits in the Dark Elf, but I'm fine with that. If it makes it more accessible to people and everything, fantastic. That's fine. Loss of tits is not a big thing. We can live without that. And if you really want to put tits in your Dark Elf models, then I won't stop you as well.
Knock yourself out.
But when you're changing a fundamental part of the law, which is that Skaven have slaves, just rename the unit into Skaven Underlings and then kept it in the law or something. They're just gone.
Is it the Skaven prisoners with jobs.
Yeah, just call them underlings or runts or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Just don't get rid of it and fundamentally change what the army is, because part of the fun was sending Skaven slaves out there to see if they just die or break. And just,
what is it like? They're like, sir, the slaves are escaping, and he's like, we can't use that word here. And he goes, sorry, sir, the prisoners with jobs are escaping.
the involuntary employees.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my little rant. I can't comment too much on the Chaos Dwarfs because I don't know quite how much of it keys into their lore. I don't know much about those guys at all.
Still got the hats though, isn't it?
Mainly because their models were very, very silly back in the day.
Very silly. Funnily enough, I was listening. Was it yesterday? Yesterday or the day before? No, it was yesterday to a podcast by a good chap. I might actually even dig it out and give him props, given that I'm mentioning it. And it was Rick Priestley and Alan Perry talking about the design of Chaos Dwarfs and stuff, like first time round.
Jordan Sorcery, was it?
No, it wasn't Jordan Sorcery.
Is it the video one then? Studio.
History.
I saw it. I watched it.
It was Film Deck Miniatures.
That's it. Film Deck. Yeah.
It says, "Hushut, bless you, Rick Priestley and Alan Perry on Chaos Dwarfs." And yeah, it was very funny. Like Rick actually, they both mentioned it. Both of the guys mentioned that they sort of Rick Priestley asked the Allen twins to the Perry twins to design like Chaos Dwarfs, and they did their design with these big hats, and he took it back to Brian Ansell, like they faxed it to Brian Ansell over in the States, and he was like, "No, I know those Perry twins. The hats are going to be too small. Get them to make the hats bigger." And so Rick's like, "No, I think the hats are quite big enough," and he's like, "Do it." And he's like, "Okay," and he had to go back to them and go, "Sorry guys, I need you to make these hats a bit bigger." And they both looked at him like, "What the fuck, really?" And he was like, "Yep." Brian said, "Bigger hats," and they were like, "Fuck's sake, fine." Made the hats bigger.
No wonder nobody liked Brian Ansell, rest in peace, because he died recently.
He did, didn't he? That's unfortunate.
Did you see on the there was a white dwarf, yeah, and when the editor left, the contents page, if you read down the titles, yes, it was something quite uncomplimentary about Brian Ansell.
Like an anagram. That's very sneaky. Kind of funny. Very unprofessional, but kind of funny.
Exactly. Even the way.
Yeah, and so like he went back to Brian Ansell, and it was like, "What? We've made the hats bigger," and he's gone, "No, I know those guys. They're still not going to be big enough. Bigger hats, please." And he's like, "Seriously?" And he's like, "Do it." And he's like, "Ah." He had to go back to them like a second time and go, "Look, dudes, got to make the hats bigger." And they were both like, "We hate you and we hate Brian. What the fuck are you guys doing?" And they're like, "Please, just bigger hats." And so they had to put the hats and extra spikes and nonsense and stuff on top of them to make them as big as possible. And then
when I worked at Games Workshop Lakeside, we had a Chaos Dwarf with a missile launcher, I think it was, or probably not a missile launcher, probably like a hand cannon or something like that.
Yeah.
And we got it and we hammered it flat. It took a while, but we basically got a hammer and just kept hammering away at it until it was flat. I can't even remember why. Maybe we were bored. I doubt it, because Games Workshop Lakeside was very, very busy, so we wouldn't have been bored very often. But yeah, we hammered the damn thing flat, and it just looked like it had a massive penis, basically. So yeah,
BTF, mate.
That's a thing. Was that your computer that just bleeped on mine?
Probably yours. I just chucked you the link to that video Facebook, if you wanted to include it.
Yeah, I need to check out most of those actually, because there's Annie Chambers one and everything on there. I think I watched.
They're great. And they're so good. Like if you've got any interest in how Games Workshop got to where they are now, or if you're an old school player and you just want to hear from the people who gave you hours of good fun rolling dice or painting stuff or just assembling miniatures or reading lore or whatever, they're fantastic insight into how things were run.
Sounds like good painting fodder for the next time I get some painting done.
Yeah, they're really good, like you said. So there's these guys like Film Deck Miniatures, and
the other one was Jordan Sorcery.
Yeah. It's always very interesting as well. So yeah,
I didn't notice it, and hopefully we can get a couple of those people on eventually anyway. So I'd love to have another chat with Andy Chambers. He's such an interesting dude.
Yeah.
Merch box.
Yeah, the Old World limited edition merch collection for 144 English pounds and 99 pence.
Yes, which does include one very, 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 very nice blanket.
It does, yeah. I mean, like we initially discussed it, and I was like, this is actually, it looks like a much better value box than the 40k one that they did.
Mm,
Simply
is
because the blanket, if it's the same quality as the Blizzard one that I've
yes,
got, which I think
if
is pretty much the same
obviously
size,
probably like 50 odd quid in its own.
it was 50 odd
Yeah,
quid on its own, and I got it half price in the sale because I ain't
yeah.
paying 50 quid for a blanket. You
And
know,
then you
grown
add
man.
on to that the fact that they want 70 quid for a hoodie. That's 120
Yeah,
quid. And then
yeah,
the t-shirts are 25. So you're getting a dice bag for free, basically, because I think that was the
yeah.
contents. Hoodie,
And
t-shirt.
let's not forget the box itself, which could
Oh,
be
and the
like with the
magnetic
40k
box.
one. We're like, it could be useful, but it's not something you go out your way to buy.
Yeah. I don't think it is better value. I think it is better quality.
I think it's a bit of value.
Absolutely. It doesn't look like the stuff was designed in GIMP in 5 seconds flat.
In
It
GIMP.
actually looks
Not even Photoshop.
not even Photoshop GIMP.
So you get the free version, you're using GIMP.
I think the stuff looks a lot nicer.
Yeah.
I think it needs more shit in it, and I think they could have chucked in a notebook, a mug for free, and
Needs a
it would have been
tankard.
more.
A fucking tankard is what it needs.
Well, the tankers are expensive. Those are expensive. I'm talking about throw. I'm talking about tat.
Rah.
So I could have thrown some tat in there because the thing is, last time it was all tat, and the stuff that wasn't tat wasn't high quality. The hoodie was a bit
No.
shit. The t-shirt was awful. I think, if I remember correctly, the poster was the only thing we liked.
Sounds about right.
And this time round, it's missing all that stuff. So the blanket is really nice, presumably it's nice quality, I presume. The design of the hoodie is nice, and the t-shirt, I presume, was the same. I can't remember.
I mean, it's a 2 meter by 1.5 meter blanket, so it's
Yes, it's a big old blanket, yeah.
fairly,
And then the
fairly
dice bag
decent.
looks okay, but it's 150 quid. I'd want more stuff. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
those hoodies are not worth 70 quid. they just ain't.
No, very few hoodies are worth 70 quid
Yeah.
unless they're like from maybe from the Behemoth web store, because
Yeah, I mean, like
Behemoth
if it's like a
always have
double
great
lined,
merch.
fleecy, loads of colours,
Yeah.
super
I mean,
snug and warm,
I've got
then
I've got
maybe.
a Nightwish fleecy hoodie from when the wife sorted out a holiday to Lapland with Mush,
Yeah,
and I didn't fancy taking a coat, and that was like 70 quid from EMP.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I went outside. I had a t-shirt on. I had one thermal layer and a fleecy hoodie. It was -15, and I was fine. So
yeah.
I'm like, you know what?
I
Represent the
mean,
band that I like, and lightweight hoodie, and it was money well spent.
even at gigs, I don't tend to see hoodies for 70 quid. You know,
No.
I
50 quid maybe.
yeah, 50. I think 50 is the most. If it's a really, really nice premium one with like loads of stuff and it's zip up and all that, like, this isn't even a fucking zip up hoodie. I don't think it's just a pullover hoodie. There's no way in
Yeah,
a
I mean,
million years it's worth 70
they
quid.
took the page down now because they ran through their
Stop
allocated time
telling it.
for
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
so can't really double check it. But
yeah.
actually,
So
that's a lie because I've still got the page open.
I was going to say, yeah, the page open.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's overpriced massively.
yeah, no, it's not zip up.
I think it needs more stuff, but I think the stuff that is in it is nice.
Yeah, I think it's
Uh,
better value
pretty much
than the 40k one.
It's better value of the basis that the stuff in it is actually worth having, but it's got fuck all in it. Like
Yeah,
literally, I think it's a t-shirt, a hoodie, a dice bag, and a blanket.
but what is in it is worth the money.
It's not a lot, but what's in it is nice
If
stuff.
you
Well,
if you like if
I
you
don't
like it,
think the hoodie is worth it.
probably
I
not.
don't think for 1 second the hoodie is worth it. For 70 quid for a hoodie, fuck off. No chance. It's like all their t-shirts now are like 30, 35 quid. It's like premium. Like, what were you
Yeah,
selling us before? The shit? Just because you put premium on something doesn't mean you can just up it by a fucking tenner. So yeah, I mean, as I say, but the stuff is definitely nicer. So that's that covered. Anything else? I gave you a list of stuff. I've forgotten most of it.
I think we've actually covered most of it.
Holy shit. We haven't covered Legions Imperialis. We finally got the news of the
Oh yeah, the expansion, the
expansion.
Great
Is it
Slaughter.
Slaughter or something? The Great
Yeah, yeah,
Slaughter?
the Great Slaughter. It's their version of the period of time that covers the Titan Death bit with the Beta
Mm.
Garment cluster and whatnot, which is one of my favourite bits of the Heresy because I love Titans and I love Knights, and it's just that, and it's
I'm
like
not
if you're anything
impressed with
smaller than a
Slaughter.
Knight, you're gonna have a shit day, and if you're in a Knight, you're probably gonna have a shit day, and if you're in a Titan, it's not ruling out a shit day. You know, there's a lot of Titans, there's a lot of big guns getting to do their thing.
We're not
So
killing off an activist eco warrior from Sweden. The Great Slaughter. Come on. I put in the Greta Slaughter the first time round. Here we go. Right, okay. So Great Slaughter. So yeah, it's a book, and then all that other sweet stuff that we've seen, like the drop pod assaults, and
I cannot wait.
basically the other half of the game.
Yeah, I cannot wait at all. I mean, like anyone like us who's already got a collection from Titanicus, I'm like, if you want me to field all my Titans and all my Knights, I'm fine with that. That's not a problem at all. I mean, yeah, I'm going to need some little guys maybe as allies to hold objectives, otherwise I'm going to get mullered. But I'm cool with that. You want to give me rules for all the stuff that we don't have yet, and models for drop pods and whatnot.
Well, no, oddly enough, this new version of Titan Death doesn't have anything smaller than Armiger.
No, it's got the drop pod rules in it. Although
the drop pod rules are in the book, but the book is still just
super heavy, basically.
Titan Death is a whole different game mode that allows you to use all your Titans, but it's just Titans and engines. So there'll be no objective, unless the Titans can suddenly control objectives at a different scale to the infantry. But it says here there's nothing smaller than Armiger in the new game mode, Titan Death.
No, but there was something else in the fluff. Yeah, I mean, it's something smaller than an Armiger has no place in Titan Death battles. Yeah. But it was something else in the
it's a different game mode, and presumably it's going to play quicker than Adeptus Titanicus.
So here we go. So it's got drop pod assaults return in a new formation. Blah, 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 blah. The Solar Auxiliary make good use of the armored assets with a new artillery company, mechanized infantry sub cohort, and super heavy company formations, which they will sorely need to face off against the towering foes that Beta Garmin will throw at them. So it sounds like there's going to be some stuff there specifically for Knights and/or Titans.
Maybe it'll increase. Maybe it'll increase the amount of Titans you can take. Maybe it'll increase it to 50% or something for some kind of. Nice, wouldn't it?
I'll see some Titans. I hope so.
Yeah, it's going to provide the other half of the game. So you're going to finally have fast attack options. You're going to have depth drop pods. So you can better do drop pod assaults and stuff.
I really want to get my paws on this book. Like,
unfortunately, it's meant to be announced.
Unfortunately, So the Great Slaughter will be available to pre-order later this month. So keep an eye out for more information here on Warhammer Community. And we've seen nothing, and that was the 4th of Jan, and they've already done the pre-order preview for next week, which is the last weekend.
Which is a placeholder because it's a bunch of made to order shit.
Made to order stuff, yeah. So something somewhere's probably gone a little bit Pete. Sorry, Pete. And they've just kind of pushed this back a little bit, which I'm kind of gutted about. But we've got the main game to play, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's a shame that it's been delayed, and we don't know for how long or anything like that. We don't know the reason because GW aren't open about these kind of things. But yeah, it was meant to be announced for pre-order yesterday. To go on pre-order obviously next Saturday, and now it's going to miss that window. And it wouldn't surprise me if that was quite literally just meant to be alongside what they did for yesterday, and they just left the made-to-order stuff in because it's not a lot. So whether it's that or they have rejig stuff on that round, I don't know. But it's a shame because, as I say, you need that stuff to come out for the next, to have the rest of the tactical options for the game. So
yeah.
That's what happens.
I've got a feeling that they'll probably release all the models for stuff that we haven't got yet. So like rapiers and tarantulas.
I think it'll be one wave. It'll be a few boxes. Hopefully the stuff from the box set that you can get separately.
Oh yeah, please give me Predators and Sicarans
and stuff.
I don't want to get scalped on eBay for more armor. Just release them in a box, please.
And the 8-man Legion, 8 tank Legion Lehman Russ squadron.
Box,
we've seen that in the wild.
Sold it on eBay, yeah.
Oh Jesus. So yeah, hopefully this stuff is coming sooner rather than later, and the game can then look at different factions going forward a little bit. I wouldn't expect to see them for a while, but obviously you don't want it to be just Marines and Solar Auxiliary forever.
No, I'm really looking forward to Mechanicum if they get
Mechanicum
released.
is the one. Yeah, Mechanicum is the one.
Loving that because again, play them in 30k, so having them downsized so I can get more, more. My machines, like the guy from Scrubs. These are my machines. Sorry, Magos. What? My machines.
Speaking of
my machines.
Speaking of 30k, we had the Solar Auxilia.
Oh, we did.
Announced.
That we did.
All
And
plastic.
It's a nice box.
Lots of them. Lots and lots of them.
Yes.
And they look really sweet. They look really sweet.
Yeah,
the box is limited from what I understand, but obviously the rest of the stuff won't be. But it'd be nice to have those come out and have it's a 20 Axe.
You alright?
Stupid snake. Yeah, she just fell off a branch.
Oh no.
She's
snake
not the
okay?
smartest. Yeah, considering she's an 8-foot long python, she's pretty dopey. You alright? She looks kind of sheepish. Snakes, they're not smart. So yeah, so it looks really nice. The
It's like
group,
what? It's like what? A
value.
20-man infantry section, a 5-man HQ section, a Lehman Russ, a heavy sentinel, and a Dracosian transport.
Correct. Yes.
Nice.
So I imagine that's gonna be at least 150 quid.
Probably. I mean, it's a decent amount of stuff. The vehicles obviously bump the price up.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm still amused and baffled as to where the sponsons are on a Lehman Russ. In 30k, they were like, "No, we don't need to put sponsons on the side of that. Just make more. Just make more tanks. Just make more."
It's like, there's a space on the side. We could put guns here. What? Heresy!
Yeah, it's like that ever popular meeting room meme with the dude getting thrown out the window. Yeah. What if we put sponsons on the side of that?
I like it personally. I like the fact that there's different things. I hate the idea that 10,000 years later they're still using exactly the same tech. That seems fucking stupid to me, especially when you consider how fast. Just in our day, 20 years ago, mobile phones were like the size of bricks.
Yep.
And,
I've probably still got my old Motorola.
I understand it's a stagnant society, all that kind of stuff, but 10,000 years and you're telling me that people are still using the same fucking armor and stuff? No. But anyway, so they're coming out. They look really nice. I really like. Nothing bad to say about them at all. I really like them. They're really nice. I actually enjoy painting the Solo Auxilia up from Legion Imperialis probably more than Space Marines, if I'm being honest. So yeah,
I've done my infantry. I still haven't done the heavy infantry. Like I haven't done the Ogrins or the Walkers or the tanks properly yet.
I'm working through them all slowly. I haven't done any Ogrins yet, but I've done the Sentinels and a few units of las rifles and stuff. I'm getting there.
Yeah, basically. I have a feeling that I think Ogrins might get the bulky keyword at some point, because as soon as the Solar Auxilia start getting access to their transport models like Arvus Lighters and Dracosians, I was going to say,
presumably you cannot put Ogrins in the Arvus Lighters.
Having a whole bunch of those dudes pile out of a transport half up the table.
Because their transport's what, 8?
Yeah, and then wrecking everything, people are going to get really upset. People are upset about Ogrins already. They're like, they kill everything in assault. And I'm like, yeah, they do. But they've also got a 6+ save, so shoot them.
It'd be like when the clowns get out of the little car. Just funny clowns.
These are the biggest clowns you ever did see.
Yeah, you get all these Ogrins just come out of this Arvus lighter. It's like, how did they all fit in?
Yeah.
Was
one of them stuffed into the cockpit?
And presumably that means we'll be getting to see things like because obviously they've only shown, they've shown most of the Solar Auxilia stuff, but there's an awful lot that they've not shown. Surely we've not seen the Axe dudes. We haven't
seen the Storm section.
We've not seen any of the artillery or anything like that. There's a load of tanks we've not seen yet. So I imagine there's a great deal of stuff to come.
Yeah, I think Forge World are still providing those for the moment.
It'd be cool. I see everything getting stripped away from Forge World eventually.
Yeah, I think they're probably getting wound down so that they only really do the stuff that they started doing in the first place, like super heavy. I can see
them doing characters and bits.
Yeah, characters.
I don't see them doing hardly any vehicles. They'll keep the Titan.
I don't think they won't do bits, because the 30k bits that they did are already incompatible with the plastic 30k Marines.
What about stuff like the new Blood Angel upgrade? That's all resin, isn't it?
The new stuff. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. But the older existing stuff from like first edition Heresy, that stuff generally doesn't really work with the plastic ones.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about them being the place to go to for doing upgrades and
inferior contemptors
and inferior contemptors, yes, and characters.
Yeah,
much as I see them being for the old world, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, I can only assume that that's why Forge World are getting a lot of their stuff stripped away. It's either because someone in Games Workshop management has a vendetta against them and they're putting them in the bin, or it's because they need the production space for something else in resin. Maybe the old world. Don't know.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But either way, yeah, I see an awful lot of it disappearing. I don't think it'll be sticking around as time goes on. It'll take a long time, obviously, but it'd be like you can either make a fell blade with, and resin isn't super cheap. With a certain amount of raw material cost. Say 10-15 quid, because I say resin isn't particularly cheap material.
Yeah.
Plus the cost of the person who's got to cast it by hand.
I suppose you'd know. You used to cast it.
Yeah, I used to cast resin for Warlord. And obviously that gives you a certain amount that a tank costs, which is why they cost as much as they do. Because obviously they want the markup. And then you can just compare that to a few plastic sprues that could be made en masse fairly cheaply. These production costs are going to be things that are going to be on their minds. So I imagine that we'll see most stuff go to plastic. Will we ever see a plastic Thunderhawk? Probably
resin.
not.
No. Nope. I've always said that. People are like, plastic Warhound, plastic Thunderhawk. I'm like, no.
Plastic fell blades, definitely.
But yeah, but like plastic Thunderhawk, no. Plastic Warhounds, no. They're too big for most games, so I don't think they'll sell enough to recoup the ridiculous cost of making steel molds for plastic.
Yeah, I think if there was more stuff they could make off of a Warlord chassis,
Warhound,
then they might think about it. But I think it's just, as you say, it's too much of a one-off development cost.
They won't do it.
It's too much of a one-off development cost. You've got your Cactus Knights, and I think that's as big as it's going to get.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've not bothered to read up on the 10th edition Titan stuff that much, but I do remember when they went to like 8th and 9th, they effectively priced Titans out of the game.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they made them stupidly expensive.
They literally doubled their points across the board. Like Warhounds went from 750 to 1500, and I was like, "What am I supposed to do with that?"
Yeah.
Like, because you've taken away blasts and templates, presumably because people found them too much trouble. Like, I found them an integral part of Warhammer, and they have been since.
I think about little Timmy, those shapes. It's too much. It's like numbers. Symbols,
takes too long for them tournaments with all the faffing and the arguing. And it's like, well, my Titan's got 2 guns because it's only got 2 arms. I can target 2 units a turn. Why is it the same price as a whole army? I can't kill a whole army with this one Titan. So why?
I mean, the thing about templates was all that happened. People just spread out all their units ridiculously, and it affected gameplay. So.
Yeah, well, that was a tactic to avoid them, and it also limits your maneuverability and makes your movement a bit more predictable and stuff. So
but then people get really anal, and then you had obviously coherency issues, and just I don't mind them doing away with templates for the most part, to be honest. In 40k,
get out of my shop. Get out.
There are other bigger problems with 40k, in my opinion, than losing templates.
Oh yeah,
much bigger.
Potentially beyond the scope of this week's discussion.
Potentially, yeah, indeed. So yeah, and then we had all the other nice previews come out that were really nice and stuff.
Most of which I've forgotten about already.
Sorry, Groot.
So, jeez, my most favourite auxiliary. Groot. I was very pleased to see that box.
I was like, he'd get there eventually, but we haven't got all day.
How very dare you?
Groot Army box.
Quite true.
Groot Army box.
Had your sneaky kits with their flesh dresses.
Oh, the mandrakes, yes, the mandrakes for Kill Team.
Yep.
Which were okay. Yeah.
Mandrakes and Night Lords.
They're plastic mandrakes, they look fine. We talked about Night Lords before, but yeah, you had the crew. They look pretty good. Yeah, nice little update. I think they look slightly more. Something has changed with the pose a little bit. They don't look quite the same, but the Clue Ox was really nice.
Yeah, overall that was a great box.
Yeah, that's nice little army box that will be coming within the next couple of months, I suppose, once they've got Dark Angels out of the way.
Yeah. That reminds me. because I'm still in a bunch of Dark Angels groups, like on
Oh yeah.
Facebook and
Oh
Reddit
yeah.
and
Apparently
stuff.
people are not
But
happy.
yeah, people are not happy at all. Like
Enlighten me.
I don't think Dark Angels were in a great place already. In 10th, and
Apparently none of the non-codex. Well, yeah, none of the non-codex chapters have been treated particularly well.
And they've basically just nerfed them more. They've no people are very grumpy. They're like Strats got nerfed. I'm just having a quick look through the Reddit now. But I'm not familiar with
just
their
so I can
10th
do a
edition
video.
stuff.
Clickbait. Dark Angels are shit now? Question mark.
Even though it's just mentioned for about 5 minutes in the whole video.
Exactly. That's what clickbait's all about, isn't it?
Fucking shocking.
I wouldn't do that. I don't do clickbait. No, if I will cut out a little bit from this. It'll be the scalpers.
Yeah.
It'll be the scalping bit, because I do like doing a short form video,
well.
mainly just so I can get something out where it takes fucking 2 to 3 days to edit this cunt.
Why am I seeing stuff from 4 or 5 years ago? This is definitely the same subreddit that I was on before. Oh, I don't know. I'll dig it out and I'll let you know.
Yeah, because I just generally saw the whining.
But yeah, people are
a lot of
very
whining.
upset.
It's like the old world group. Join the old world group, a hell of a lot of that's just whining. It's just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I understand, and I also don't understand.
Yeah, people are like, I can't see this box selling out.
Well,
like
I mean,
the Deathwing one.
I've always said the war. I won't say the war gaming community. The Warhammer community is the Dead Sea because it's so fucking salty.
But but when you meet people, they're some of the nicest people. But when they're
absolutely, yeah,
no, a lot
absolutely.
of the people online are just divs.
I think a lot of people are that way as well. They're like, when people talk about gatekeepers and stuff, there are some that are just out and out racist and they're pricks and they do, oh god no, don't want to leave ladies or dark people in my room. But then there's some people who are just like, you know what, come and play, fucking go for it. Maybe just don't jump in and demand to change everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like any fandom or any
the Unforgiven
big group of people, there will be a spectrum of people. Across all different kind of attitudes and political divides and all that kind of stuff. And in the middle, you're going to have the same people on either side. And then to the extremes of either side, you'll have people just throwing poop at each other. And I just generally just try and stay in the middle if I can, to be honest, because otherwise it just gets damn depressing. What else was in the previews? That really nice Witch Hunter box set. I like that.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
Alice and Toll. From the Warhammer animation thing.
Yes.
Yeah, they were really cool. Nice models. Because I do like the old world witch huntery type thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That aesthetic rather than the sort of. Because like when I was looking at the Cities of Sigmar, I was like, oh, they're a bit over detailed and a bit silly.
It was kind of like they tried a little bit too hard. They were like,
they just kind of feel like they're trying a bit too hard. Exactly.
We're going to do the stuff that you remember fondly, but up to 11, and it's like, don't want it up to 11. I just kind of like it as it was.
It was nice. I like the again the witch hunter dudes with the dogs, and I think there's a dude with crossbow or something. It was quite nice. And that woman, the lady general, I can't remember her name, on the Manticore. That was fucking amazing.
That was a great model.
Yeah, really nice.
I think we covered that last time, didn't we? We were quite upset that it wasn't higher up in the best model of 2023 list.
Yep, exactly. But some of the other stuff, just look really, really over detailed for the sake of it. It's like if these are the general foot troops, I mean, it's just a little bit over the top, and I don't know if it needs to be that way. But then I am a grognard, so that's fine. Another one I want to mention real quickly is the Javelin Landspeeder appears to be out of stock on the GW web store. It has been for a little while, so I wonder if we might see that in plastic soon.
The which one? The Javelin. Javelin, the fancy Landspeeder.
Yes.
I'd like to see those in plastic, actually. They're a really nice
model. Lovely plastic, wouldn't it? It really would be nice in plastic. So I'm wondering if we might see that at some point. As I say, the next preview is likely to be Decepticon.
I'll just say yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what. Nova's at the end of the year. Got Adepticon Gen Con. They don't do one for Salute. Warhammer Day, which is a shit one. As you know, it's just the name of the company and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Gen Con's the next one. So, and I would fully expect to see Age of Sigmar 4th edition. But where there's so many games now, I think some's got to, for me in particular, some's got to go by the wayside, kind of.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, I'll tell you what, strangely enough, one of them might be 40k.
Yeah, well, I've pretty much knocked 40k on the head. I mean, apart from obviously
There's
getting
a lot of the lore that I don't seem to like these days, and I'm not really keeping up to it, up to date with it in the way that I used to. It seems to have lost a little bit of its grimdark. I'm not going to say it's not grimdark at all, because the whole idea is that it's all grimdark, but that whole kind of like military history kind of aesthetic seems to have been just whole scale co-opted by the Horus Heresy now, and I'm like, this is what I like.
Yeah, the more mature
Primaris
stuff.
Nonsense, not so much.
Nope.
And
then I think that's why we love specialist games so much, because they seem to cater for us, because they sort of are us.
They are us. Yes. They are us. They
Yeah.
are the old school crowd. So yeah, and I'm very grateful for specialist games. I'm very grateful they came back, and
Yes,
they're giving us all the other stuff, because it's one of the things that keeps me hanging around and keeps me spending my pennies. Like I bought a Necro Sphinx at the weekend.
I saw, yeah.
Couldn't really afford it, but I was just like, you know what? I've wanted one of these for years and years and years, and they're like 200 quid on eBay.
Sorry, man. I just seen a meme in the subreddit, and it's got Darth Vader standing there with like a Warhammer logo slapped over his face, and there's Lando Calrissian standing between him and Boba Fett, and Boba Fett has got a Dark Angels logo slapped over his face, and it says, "I am altering your data sheets. Why I don't alter them further."
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the because obviously once you've got your codex, that's your lot. Until, I mean, obviously you might get an FAQ, but
Yeah.
they're not likely to make wholesale changes to codexes.
No.
Obviously, the balance data sheet is meant to be coming out.
Marines in general, they might. So you might get knock-on changes from that, but I figured for non-codex chapters, they'll just be like, "No, you're done."
Yeah, exactly. Because they're obviously working on the next one, and let's be honest, 10th edition needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
Most people are not happy with 10th. There's a lot of people playing it and everything. Obviously, it always will be, but I would not say it's been a success at the moment by any means.
Nope. No, I mean, I was watching the painting phase, and they had Liam Dempsey on there.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And that was actually a really interesting and funny episode to watch. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I've not actually watched any of Liam's stuff for quite a while now, so I really need to catch up.
No, I hadn't, to be honest. I haven't watched anything since he moved into his new studio, to be honest.
Yeah,
I have
same.
no idea what any of it's like. But
Yeah,
I'll
same.
get that painting phrase. That's always good to watch while you're painting, kind of thing.
Yeah, so that was very good, and he was saying that like 10th edition is not his favourite 40k in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, he's made no bones about that, which is strange because he's still on the program. He still keeps getting shit all the time and everything.
Well, yeah, I think that's I don't think Games Workshop really.
I think provided you're not being defamatory and actually don't buy stuff, they don't mind.
Yeah, I think as long as you're not actively working against them and expecting free stuff and taking the piss, then as long as you've got a decent amount of followers, they'll probably be reasonably okay with it. As long as you're honest and it's a balanced opinion. So some of the stuff, yeah, great. Other stuff, yeah, it's shit. But yeah.
I think that's fair enough. Yeah, I'll check that out because I do like the painting phase. They're good. I watched Louise's because she's gone past 100k subscribers.
Nice. She deserves
I watched her video about that. Well, she had like 70,000 subscribers on her first day.
Damn.
Yeah, cool. She literally had an inbuilt audience the second she launched the channel.
That's good. I mean, she's really nice as well. Like we've bumped into her out and about, like not just at gaming events, but also at gigs and at like Bloodstock Festival and stuff like that. And she's always really nice to talk to. She always stops. She's always quite happy to see people.
Yeah, I bumped into her obituary a few months ago.
Fantastic.
That's cool. So yeah, she's just crossed 100k. She's obviously doing her own little company as well. She's doing that Rogue, not Rogue, Rascal Town, Little Goblins.
That's it, yeah.
That's going to be a game and everything like that. So yeah, she's doing really well. It's just nice to see people doing well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed in a few years we'll have a significant amount of subscribers and stuff. That's something else to mention is the Dark Angels combat controls changed.
Oh,
yeah. Now most of the combat patrols are changing by the looks of things, and in most cases it is a significant downgrade. Significant downgrade. In this case, because the Dark Angels combat patrol was probably one of the shittiest ones, I don't think it's that much of a downgrade, if I'm being honest. So the other one was a Redemptor, 3 Inceptors, 5 Intercessors, the Chaplain, and a Dark Angels upgrade sprue, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, sounds about right.
The new one, as with most combat patrols, they've completely removed any vehicles. So the Redemptor's gone.
Yeah.
So the new combat patrol is 3 Blade Guard, a Gravis Captain, 5 Hellblasters, and 10 Intercessors.
Oh, so
yeah,
it's fairly useful then.
So it's a fairly sideways upgrade, I would say, that one. You've lost the Redemptor, which is a shame because it's a big, expensive, chunky unit. But actually seems a bit more like a combat patrol now.
Yeah.
And it's still 10 times better than the Space Marine one.
Yeah, not some great supporting the Dreadnought. Yeah, with the Terminators, what weird. Just
then
weird.
Also with that one, there's nothing in it that makes it particularly Dark Angel. Obviously, you'll get Dark Angel upgrade sprue with it.
Yeah.
In the picture, they have got Dark Angels bits. But there's nothing in it that makes it particularly Dark Angels. Like there's no Dark Angels troops, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no specific units.
It would actually make a better Space Marine combat patrol, in my opinion, than the Space Marine combat patrol.
That's not a bad idea. If people can buy that, then they can eBay off the Dark Angel sprue. I'm sure people would love to get their hands on a spare one.
Yeah, you get a tenner for that, I'm sure. Well, depending on which one it is, and if it's the new one or the old ones. But either way, so yeah, that's happened. So obviously that does show that it looks like all the combat patrols will be changing, and any vehicles in them will be disappearing. So obviously, when it comes to the combat patrol part work, it's very interesting because that has got vehicles in it.
So I'm interested to see what they do with that.
Yeah, just interested to see what happens there. Really, going forward. I think the next one after Dark Angels is Orcs, or is it Tau?
Orcs. I
want to say it was Orcs, but they haven't mentioned anything about Orcs.
I'm not sure.
But then for Orcs, it will just be one character, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's coming really soon.
Yeah,
like straight after the Dark Angels one or something, and we're going to get that mech because we've seen him. We've seen the mech.
Just to quickly look back. Just to quickly look back to the Laser Forge miniatures, I was talking nonsense. I didn't buy 3 and have 15. I bought 2 lots, and I have 20.
Okay, so coming back to 10, so you don't.
Yeah.
That's more than enough. So you probably get away with
I think they're 17 quid for 10.
Not bad.
Which isn't too bad. I'm not sure if I actually paid that or not, because when I actually ordered through the guy who does the website himself, in one of the Epic groups, he kind of mentioned it and put up pictures, and I just messaged him and said, yeah, that looks awesome, I'll do these and I'll PayPal you the money. So I'm not sure if I actually paid what's on the site, but that's what it is now. It's like $16.95, 10 dials of a design of your choice, which is
sweet,
which is not bad. They're very useful. No, it's all good.
As you say, 10 times better than the shitty ones that we had before.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else going on really. I haven't painted anything because I've been dead.
Yeah, I've just been doing my knights, so I've been getting some colour on them. I'm still amazingly shit at freehanding hazard stripes. So Tamiya teeny little 3mm tape has been a godsend. But when it comes to the resin knights for Titanicus with their bumpy carapaces, not so much fun. Not so much fun at all.
But, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
but I'm getting there. I'm getting there through those.
I was fine. I'm painting all my infantry on the sprues and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just getting a little bit done here, a little bit done there, but no, not very much at all, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's the best way to get the infantry done, I think. For then anything like Contemptors and Ogryns and bigger is just stick them on the base and as normal and just paint them.
Yeah, I think so. I think just do as much as you can on it. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, people aren't going to look at it close enough anyway. It doesn't really matter.
But no, like, Epic's been a good source of fun. Can't wait for that expansion book to come out.
Yeah, hopefully it's not been. Obviously, GW been completely silent on it, but hopefully it's not too far away.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But
I'm just looking at the stuff that is still to come out, and there's a lot of it.
Oh, what, models wise?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, that's what I was going to say. Like, because I'm in like the Epic Facebook groups, and I see people going, "Oh, this is my aerial assault detachment," and they've got like 4 Thunderhawks, a whole bunch of Storm Eagles. They're like, "Oh, I've got Xiphons as well." And at the moment, that's a little bit like, are you really going to be that guy? Because we don't have a lot of anti-aircraft stuff available.
Yeah.
And high dice and volume rapid fire weapons are going to ruin your day. But how many things actually have those?
Yeah. And Skyfire.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have Skyfire. Not a lot has Skyfire at the moment.
No.
But as soon as the artillery / support detachments come out, which is going to be like the AA tarantulas, then I think that's going to shake up things.
Oh yeah, definitely. As I say, at the moment we've only got half. No matter what way you look at it, we've only got half a game.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's not a good game. I'm not saying it's not a fun game, but it's only half a game.
Yep.
But, there's tactical options that are completely missing. You've got whole legions that can't really act like that legion.
Yep.
White Scars.
Yeah.
What?
Because they haven't got any cavalry.
Yeah, exactly. No cavalry, no mounted. So I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully, it's not been put too far back. I heard somebody say March, but hopefully not. Hopefully, it's just a few weeks. Yeah, I don't know what could have delayed it. Again, it's a book. It seems like as soon as it's a book,
then it's the dramas.
Maybe somebody left blood and honor in it.
Maybe it's time that Games Workshop did better proofreading of their stuff.
Nice, wouldn't it?
It's like, models are amazing. Please bring your books up to scratch. Like, when they're good, they're really, really good. But
yeah,
you could do better than that.
I'm available, GW.
Yeah.
I'm just down the road, man. Seriously.
Alan's technically a published author. He can help you with your proofreading.
My work is in print. My work is in print.
Yeah.
So yeah,
stuff.
So yeah. I think that's about everything more or less covered.
I think that's more than we actually intended to cover with my rambling about Epic.
Well, I'll cut some stuff out because I like to try and get these down to an hour. Not impossible, but I like to try and get them down to an hour.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Maybe just cut out most of the Epic stuff and we'll just include it in a later one that's a bit more focused on Epic when they.
Yeah, I think we'll obviously cover it again heavily once the starter set makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Not starter set, the supplement makes an appearance.
Yeah, when the expansion comes out.
So we'll definitely do that. And don't forget that you guys can drop a comment below to vote on our next not discussing current events video. And if nobody votes, I'm just going to pick something. So the options were: first one was did Primaris ruin Space Marines? Second one was, is 40k just too big now? Third one was 3D printing. We'll have a chat about that. And the fourth one is GW pricing in general, because there's a lot that can be said about that. Pros and cons, alternatives, blah, 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 blah. Just stuff we can chat about for ages. So yeah, leave a comment below and we'll tally up the votes. The last vid didn't do so well anyway, so we haven't actually had any votes yet, but I'll also do a post, like a poll on the channel, and anybody who does comment, I'll chase them up and ask them to vote on things. And if nobody votes, fuck it, I'll just pick something. Yeah, I want to do stuff that will continue to be relevant without getting too clickbaity, because fuck me, I've seen some really, really clickbaity titles and stuff like that. I don't want to go down that route. I know it works. Oh. I don't want to go down that route. I don't want to ever use the word scandal in one of the titles of our videos.
No, or scam.
I'm okay, or scam or anything like that. I'm okay with posing, or GW's dying or anything like that. I'm okay with posing questions and then discussing those questions. And if people view that as being clickbaity, then they can view that as being clickbaity. But I don't want to go full clickbait, on the channel. I just don't want to do that. That's not what it's for. So yeah, I'll wrap up the video. Thanks for listening, guys, again. And
thank you.
Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment saying if you like it and stuff. And we will catch you next time.
Yeah, stay out of trouble.